I want everyone to have a pencil out. I mean, you should have one out anyways. I'm going to start taking these for grades. Mr. Edwards announced that today was the last day we're doing this for. No grade, but. Yeah, no grade for today, but not pencil.
Did you bring your trumpet this time?
No.
What?
I don't need.
Come on, because we're on field trip.
No, not even that.
All right.
Look, we're trying to-
And then, do we all have paper?
I have paper, yes, I do. I do.
Anyone not have paper? All right.
Carson has a lot of paper. You can just get one from
Carson.
Take Carson's take one.
Reading out.
How many? Do you like them? Here.
Or actually, I have a better idea. You can write. Never mind. We don't. Everyone will have paper because I'm going to hand this out anyways. We're getting a rhythm chart. We already have this one, or had this one at one point. But we're going to get it again. And gives you a chance to have an extra piece of paper. Or you can write it in the binder. I don't care. We're going to be copying that chart up there. See that chart up there? On the board. If you don't see it, then probably need glasses.
I can't see. I don't wear my glasses.
My glasses are at home and so are yours. You have glasses on. Ooh, I see a star. Whoa.
Oh, no, I can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, so this is kind of what we tested. It is what we tested over. But right now, I need you on the back of this or on a piece of paper that you'll save. I don't care where. I need you to start making this outline right here.
Okay, I'll try. Can't see it. Thank you.
It looks like a weird step.
Yeah, the thing is 4 tall and 3 wide.
I'm so confused what you're talking about.
I'm talking about this grid right here. It's 4 things tall, 3 things wide, just in case you need to know how many that is. Yeah, you can fill that one if you, have that one if you want to. If not, I don't care. We're just not going to be using that space for anything. You'll notice on these 3, there's little dotted lines that go through them that kind of split it up, but they're still part of the same thing. All right, so even if you're not done, just keep going. I'm just going to start talking. Should be mostly done by now. So, some of us couldn't identify kind of like the difference between these. It's okay, we didn't go over them that in depth, so that's what we're doing right now. This top one right here, what is this? Yeah, that's a whole note, okay? Whole note. What's this right here?
That's a whole rest.
A whole rest. What did those two have in common? Yeah.
They both get 4 counts.
Yeah. 4 beats each. So this is where we're going to write whole, because both of these are whole somethings. All right? What's this one called?
Oh, half.
That's a half note. What's the similarity between this and this? What? Yes, but like, what else? What's written up here that's the same? Carson? Yes. Notes. What's this, Savannah? I'm pointing to this one right here. Let's see if we can find some similarities here. So, this one's a half note, right? And we can see that these two are the same. What do you think this is going to be? Yes, a half rest. So what's the similarity here? Who can raise their hand and tell me? Michael.
They just have 2 beats.
Yeah, they have 2 beats. So what do we call that? Half. What's our similarity here between these two? What are we going to put up here? Trenton, what are we going to put up here?
Rest.
Yes, rest, because these are all going to be rests. Does someone want to take a guess at what we're going to write in here? Charity.
It's on the last row of the quarter.
Yes, quarter. All right, so if we know it's a quarter and it's not a rest, it's a note, what is it? Quarter note. What is this then if we put these together? Are you sure it's not just a rest?
It's just a rest.
Wrong. A lot of people got that wrong. This is a quarter rest. Because if you say rest, if you write on your test and I see this and then you write it's a rest, you're telling me it's in this box. That can mean all of these things. No, I'm talking about like this box alone, not these boxes. So this is a quarter rest. All right, so we had a lot of people who just wrote rest on the test. Rest on the test. Kind of like elf on the shelf, but rest on the test.
Oh, we're gonna rest.
Anyway, so how many beats is this? How many? Michael? 1 beat. All right, so make sure we have this whole chart written down. You'll want this when you study for the test on Friday. You want to take the test tomorrow?
Yes.
Do you know everything about Mozart?
What's that?
I've read these things. I was so off besides one.
You thought Mozart was an artist?
Yeah.
I
He's a
got,
musical
I
artist.
think I got one.
I thought you said that one that was like,
I read the things on the page, and I think I got 1 out of 4. And the other 3 I was completely wrong.
All right, let's bring it back in. So make sure we have this. We'll need this in just a second as we bring up rhythm chart number 2. So just on the other side, if you wrote it on the back. Now, our clapping and counting all around was all right. I like to see some better improvement though. So let's look at numbers, I don't know. Measures 29 through 32. That sounds like a good one.
Okay.
How do you count and clap a half note? Thomas? You're answering now. I got you. Half note. That's 2 quarter notes. What's up, Charity? Yes. Yeah, so on half notes, it's 1, 2, since we're holding out the note for more than 1 count. And so, Thomas, let's go back to this. if we were to do the same thing, but for a whole note, what would you do? What do you think? So we saw that the half note was 1, 2. What do you think the whole note would be for 4 counts? Clap and count it. So you do, remember when I said it's not quarter notes? What did we just do for a half note? You almost had it. What was it? Yeah, like a whole. So if we're playing a whole note, it sounds like da, right? Since it's held out all the time. So that means you clap, 2, 3, 4. Kind of like we're playing it. We're just holding it with our hands. Does that make sense to everyone? All right. So as I adjust this, thanks technology. All right. So let's look at 20. What did I just say?
29, 32.
29 and 32. Let's clap and count that. We got some half notes. We got some half rests. All of our rests are like this though, so nothing different on our rests. All right.
You said 33?
29 to 32.
It's the second.
1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Savannah, can you clap and count the first 2 measures? 29 through, let's do 29 and 30. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. So we need to count along with this. You can't just be silent. It's counting and clapping. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What notes do we have at 30? Do we have notes or do we have rests? Yeah, so we need to clap on the notes and then we rest by doing this. So clap on our notes, on the rests. So try measure 30. You're holding it. Why are you holding it? Okay, let's try it again. Measure 30. You didn't clap on the second count. That's a half note, right? Yeah, so we still want to clap anytime that we are making sound. Like if we were to play this, if we were making sound, we want to clap there and hold it if it's a held up note. So try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. Yes, just like that. Exactly like that. Can you try and measure 31? Yes, just like that. All right. I think we got the idea of that now. I don't think you were there when we taught it, so I think that works now. 33 through 36. Waylon, can you do that for me? 33 through 36, the last line. Here, move your, I'll just move. Do it again. Try again. You need the 4 hands together for the half note. Try again. 1, 2, 3. Why did you bring your hands apart? You brought them like all the way out here like it's a rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. You just bring them slightly apart to clap again. Try again. 1, 2, 3. No. It's a clap and hold for a half note. Right? That's a half note there in beat 2, right? Yeah, so try that. Don't bring them apart. You need to count that. So 1, look at me when I do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I did there? Try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Now try and measure 34. What do we do for rests? Yeah, we keep it up. So try 34 again. Yep. Measure 35 for that. Don't bring it apart, but you got it right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 36. Yes, all right. And everyone, let's end with measures 1 through 4, the very first line. 1, 2, clap and count. All right, good. All right, so this chart right here, just like we had on Monday, this would be the same chart, you just will have different lines to clap, okay? So practice those. What would help me if I were to do this, I might go, like I might write into a part like this one, clap, 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 hold, clap, clap. Or if I went down to one with the rest, clap, apart, clap, hold, clap, hold, clap, apart, 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 clap, 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 apart, apart. So if that would help you with that, that's something I would suggest doing if you want to. All right, so we're going to go over here now. Yes, the computer can come along. Man, I really don't want to erase that. Bye-bye stuff. We're starting to get really far away from that side over there, so. Yeah, it might be hard to see all the way over there, so it's okay. We're gonna write. Let's write that out a little bit longer. What is this again? Who can raise your hand? Gibson.
The treble or G clef?
Yeah. So the G clef is kind of what we use. It's technically a name for it, but we kind of use that to help teach it because like it's easier to see the G in there. But yes, the treble clef is the name I am expecting on the test. The treble clef is what we want. So everyone say treble clef.
Treble clef.
Treble clef. All right, that's a name that we most commonly associate with that symbol. So far in trumpet class, we started with the first 5 notes of C, D, E, F, and G, right? Yeah. And then we learned a new note, which is
A.
A. Yeah, so that's going to be on our second space there. And then we learned, what low note did we learn yesterday?
B.
B. And that's going to be all the way down here. So we take our ledger line that we talked about before, and it's 1 note under, because that's the next one that comes in the alphabet. Let's go over a little bit, just a little bit of a review to help us read the note names. All right, so what did we call these areas on the staff here? Carson. Yeah, so these are our spaces. What's a good way that we used in the beginning of the semester to learn how to remember these, the notes that go here? Gibson.
Spell space.
It spells face, F-A-C-E. So if I told you to find this note, you'd be like, oh, that's in the first space. That's an F, because face, that's the first letter, first space. And if I told you to find what this note was, what space is it in?
Second.
The second space, and what's the second letter of face?
A.
A. All right, so awesome. We got F-A-C-E. A calf. Oh, sorry, face. All right, so we have the spaces. What's the ones that are not the spaces? That was a really loud hand raise. Well, since he gave you the answer, Thomas. So if it's not the space, what is it? What? We got the spaces and the lines. Yes, spaces and lines. How did we remember this one? McKenna? What? Yes. E, G, B, D, F. We had two things that we spelled out with this. Do you remember one of the sentences?
Every good boy deserves a fight.
Every good boy deserves fudge. Or, if you remember the other one,
Even George Bush drives fast.
even Georgie Bush drives fast. Because he's from Texas. Uh-huh. So even George Bush drives fast. All right, so any of those, or if you want to come up with your own, that's fine. Just remember that that's how we find the notes on there. Cool? So you might want to write that down if you don't understand that. All right, that one? Cool. I'll leave that there, but not that. So if I told Caden to tell me what this note is, what note is that? I know, this isn't on here, but remember, if we go down one note, it's the next letter in the, yeah, and if it's going down, that means it's going in reverse alphabetical. Going up is the next one. So, here you do. This is, what is this? Yes, D.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at the C. I was like,
No,
because I thought you were pointing at the C, so I was like.
no, I'll point above it, okay? And if I were to ask Charity what this note is? Yes. If I ask Carson what this note is, yeah, that's B, that's our new note. All right, Kelsey, if I were to ask you what this note is?
F.
Yes, F. McKenna, if I asked you what this note is? Yes. Waylon, if I asked you what this note is? What? What space is it on? What? Not a middle space. There's 4, so you can't have a middle. There's a first, second, third, and fourth space. What space is it on? Let's count. 1, 2. It's on the second space. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your space numbers. And if it's on the second space, what letter is that? Remember our word that we use for the spaces, rhymes with space? Literally just talked about it. Yeah, face. What's the second letter of face? Yeah, so A. So that's what we need to use for the spaces there, and then we can just go down. So we need to get that rolling a lot quicker. And if I were to ask Thomas what this note is, what?
Wait.
Don't give the answers. Stop doing that. It's not appropriate. All right, Thomas, this note.
No.
What space is it on?
What?
Yeah, and what's the first letter of face? Yes, F. Savannah. What's this note? Is it a line or a space? And what line is it? First, so what's your first letter in our line notes? What's the first letter in our line notes? It's like right here. It's like right in front of you. E, yes, all right. All right, Trenton, what's this note?
C.
Why would you say C?
A.
A, yes. Gibson, what's this note?
C.
Yes, and Michael, what is this note? F. Yep, so we can look and use those tricks that I showed you once again to get that. Or if you look in your books, if you go to page, I'm pretty sure it's 46 and 47. You'll have your fingering chart. Now, granted, this is a clarinet. Ignore that. But it'll have the notes on the staff here, and that'll help you find where those are at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it'll have the notes on the staff, just like up there, but right here. So you can help learn with that. And it'll have the fingerings on there too, which is what I'm going to show next. All right, so Caden, what's the fingering for this note right here? This is going to be on the test, just like we had yesterday.
1 and 3.
1 and 3, Charity. Carson. Kelsey. And I'm not pointing to the same note. What note is that?
1 and 2.
Yeah, what note is it though? A, yes, 1 and 2. McKenna. Is B open? Second, yes. Waylon. Don't look at your book. What? It's not G. I'm asking for the fingering, but if you don't get the note, then I guess that doesn't help either. It's 1 note below what note? So this is E right here, and what's 1 note before E? In the alphabet, what's 1 note before E? What? D. All right, and what's the fingering for D? What? No, not 2 and 3. We have not learned any notes yet with 2 and 3. All right, look in your book. What is it? Yeah, 1 and 3. So let's make sure we're taking a look in our book for that. Thomas? What's the fingering for that note? Why would you say 1 and 2? What note is it?
No, 1 and 2.
Yeah, just 1, since it's F. 1 and 2 would be A or E. All right, Savannah. What's the fingering for this one? No, that's not it. What note is that? C. What's the fingering for C? It's what we usually start with. Open, yes. All right, Trenton. What about this note? What's the fingering?
By E, so 1 and 2.
Yes, correct. Gibson.
That's also.
Also 1 and 2. And Michael?
1.
1. All right. So look in the back of your book for help with that. because we need to get a lot faster at those, and that's still gonna be on the quiz on Friday. All right, so we're done reviewing for today. Let's get some playing in.